where the model predicted tripling of the surface warming rate in the tropics has not been observed for 50 years by any measurement, though it's been attempted to be found. It isn't there. We now know from Paltridge et al. Why it isn't there, because subsidence drying takes the extra water vapor that should accumulate there as the atmosphere warms down to lower levels where it can't cause warming, therefore allowing the outgoing radiation to escape into space pretty much as before. And the clincher, a paper by Professor Richard Lindzen, just published, shows that indeed just measuring the outgoing radiation shows that it is escaping into space very much as it always did, and he has calculated therefore that once again the warming effect of CO2 over the whole of the next century will be around 1 Fahrenheit degree. That's all you need to know about the science. That paper by Dick Lindzen, the world's foremost climatologist, is definitive. It ends the scientific debate. And those of the left who have come across that paper know this perfectly well, which is why they're trying to rush through the Copenhagen Treaty. Now, in just a couple of sentences, how we deal with the economics. All you need to know about the economics on this. Let us suppose that the UN is right, that we're going to get 6 Fahrenheit degrees of warming for a doubling of CO2 concentration. The central figure that you need to know is this on the economics. How many tons of CO2 emission must we forego to forestall 1 Fahrenheit degree of global warming? The answer, which you will not have seen anywhere, let's just take a vote. Has anyone seen the answer anywhere to that question? No. I'm not surprised. They haven't told you. The answer is this. It's 1 trillion tons. The world only emits 30 billion tons a year. So you would have to shut down the entire economy of the planet for 33 years, assuming that the UN is right about the so-called big effect of CO2 on temperature, in order to prevent 1 Fahrenheit degree of the 6 Fahrenheit degrees of warming that they predict will take place in this century. However, if they are wrong, as we now know them to be, and climate sensitivity is 1/6 of what they say it is, then make that 33 years into 200 years of flinging the economy back to the Stone Age without even the ability to light a fire in our caves. That is how completely futile it would be to try in any way to mitigate global warming. And finally, politically, even if there were a problem, even if we could do something about it, handing over your democracy, your sovereignty, and your prosperity, and your freedom to the world government, which is proposed at Copenhagen, is something which you should not countenance. I have recently put a short clip on, video clip, on YouTube. I made this point last week to an audience in Minnesota. That video clip has been viewed by 1 million people as of today, because so many people here in your democracy will not give up their freedom for the sake of this mess of pottage which is proposed to us at Copenhagen. And I hope therefore that it is here, on the very soil of freedom, where it is always a privilege to stand, that your nation will rise up against this utter scientific, economic and political nonsense and say, no, this treaty shall not pass. And at this 11th hour, at the 59th minute and the 59th second, I will say to you what Winston Churchill said to your president during the darkest hour before the dawn of freedom in the Second World War, quoting from your great poet Longfellow. Sail on, O ship of state, sail on, O Union strong and great. Humanity, with all its fears, with all the hopes of future years, is hanging breathless on thy fate.